Really? I haven't sold you in 40 years.
We're starting out strong today, huh? Well, looks like we got a full house today, so welcome to the Den of Inequity and Sin. That's right. Welcome
We
to
changed the name of the show?
I wish. No, that's just my actual life. No. Welcome, everyone, to the Dragoon's Lair podcast. I am the Blue Dragoon himself, Daniel the Dragon, and since we have a packed show, I am here with King Hamster Pellet himself, Mike Chiavo.
What's shaking, people?
I am with here once again with the incomparable Jimmy Haynes.
The family man is in the house.
And we have a special treat tonight. We have actual feminine energy, not just Mike. We have the lovely Pauline Murphy.
The hair, right?
You think I'm more feminine than Mike?
Yeah.
All right.
Somebody has to be.
I still got $20 on her kicking his ass in a fight.
Put me down for 10. I'm good for it.
He already knows he can get his asses beat.
I would go easy on him because he has a dog to take care of.
I have 2 dogs.
Two dogs, actually. Yes, big.
That's just more reason for you to end up taking care of them. You've beaten him up just to take the dogs.
Just feel, oh.
Sorry,
they have a
subject.
mother. It's okay. No. Now you got me wondering about the spoils of war. Okay.
That's right. So we need to take a quick moment of silence and recognize that we lost Carl Weathers.
What the fuck?
I know.
Hello, man.
Yep. Moment of silence.
You want to talk about like masculine? Like that dude was guy right there.
Jumps.
Oh, yeah. You know, he was still kicking, acting his heart out in like The Mandalorian. He died at, what was it?
Yesterday.
Yesterday,
74.
76.
4, I thought.
76. At least that's what Google said earlier.
Yeah.
He was born 1946. No.
48, I thought.
Oh, okay.
No.
Anyway, he's in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a shame. He's definitely going to be
I
missed.
didn't even know the dude was sick.
No.
You know,
Listen,
That's
no
already
one
at
knew
the
about
age where it's like
Chadwick Boseman.
anything could happen at this point.
Yeah.
Like once you're over 75, it's just like, all right,
yeah,
playing with house money. Like,
yeah, things just kind of start falling apart.
Yeah.
Unless you're me and they start falling apart by the time you were born. I'm on replacement
Ease your
parts.
ankle.
Yeah. That's the wonderful thing about replacement parts.
Danny's warranty didn't run out yet.
Not yet. But I might have to go back in for...
I also think, what year would it have been when Carl Weathers, like when the Rocky movies were coming out? Like
76, 76.
Okay, because I feel like him coming out in that Uncle Sam outfit, like
I want
that
you.
was the moment that like America peaked, and
Yeah.
we've just been downhill ever since. Like nothing will ever accomplish like that level.
well, yeah, his Rocky 4, him coming out...
Yeah, as
Yeah.
Uncle Sam again.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that was American sensationalism. We've just been downhill ever
Yeah,
since.
that was-
like cultural.
Yeah, that was straight 80s.
I love that shit.
In the 80s, it was we wanted our action heroes big, and we wanted to make sure that we had bigger weapons.
Yep.
And speaking of big action heroes, let's jump right in because I want to talk about the Masters of the Universe cartoon, Revolutions, the sequel to Revelations.
Thank you, Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Kevin.
Now, I did have a little bit of a problem.
Okay.
All right, now I have my notes because I actually...
Now, this is a Netflix show, right? Or a cartoon
Yes,
that
yes,
he just
Netflix.
made in the 2020s.
Yeah.
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 It was a sequel series to the original
Which came out 2
in
years
the
ago?
80s.
Yeah.
2 years ago, which my big issue was there was a change in the voice acting.
Wait, so did he do the original 2 years ago? Also?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did the original.
Okay, so this is all his undertaking.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
reboot of this cartoon. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not really a reboot. It's more like a continuation of the 80s cartoon.
And he got the rights to all of it?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Filmation.
Yeah.
Fucking Kevin Smith.
And Mattel
Kevin
gave him a blessing.
No, Mattel had the rights. Filmation did not. Filmation has the rights to She-Ra. So that's why She-Ra was not in anything so far. But yeah, the fact that they changed over, there were some great cameos and stuff that we'll get into, but the fact that they went and Sarah Michelle Gellar was not doing the voice of Tila this time around, where she was in Revelations. So in this one, it was now Melissa Benoist.
I didn't have a problem.
It took a
could have been. It could have been scheduling conflicts. You didn't know.
it took a little bit for me to get used to it because everybody else was back. So
This is Sarah Michelle Gellar?
Yeah.
Okay, well, she's married to Freddie Prinze Jr., so I would be taking no projects anyway. Like, I would be home. all the time.
Mostly they're doing voice projects anyway. So
Fair.
I mean, both of them were in the what was it, Rebels?
Yes.
Yeah. So Star Wars Rebels, but yeah,
That's so cool. Aw, see, like they're a good Hollywood couple. Like they do cute shit together. Like
Yeah.
that. I love
And
it.
people forget he was doing work with the WWE.
He was one of their writers. Yeah.
Yeah, he's also
didn't
he
know
was
that.
still doing
Yeah.
he was doing the A&E biography stuff that was coming out after, so it was like talking about the moments and the rivalries.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I think the one good like it took a little time for me to get used to Melissa Benoist as Tila, but
What else is she voiced her from? That name, I don't know. I'm not
She
familiar
was
with her.
Supergirl on the CW.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind. Fair
which
enough.
the funny thing is though, Prince Adam / E-Man is her actual husband.
Is it?
Yeah. So it actually, let me see, because I wrote stuff down. It's amazing. Yeah, Chris Wood is her husband, and he was on Supergirl with her. So
And this is like the new Supergirl, like where with the hot blonde chick as Supergirl.
yeah.
Okay.
From the Berlanti-verse.
Well, yeah, the
from the
Berlanti-verse. Because if you're saying the hot blonde,
That's not specific
I'm
enough?
actually thinking of not Melissa Benoist, Laura Vanderroot
Yeah.
I will.
from Smallville.
And now it's Millie Alcott.
Yeah. Well, if that ever happened, so.
Well, you figure they're going to keep changing things around, but so far the casting's gone through, so
No, I'm thinking of Melissa Benoist.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the recent one.
yeah. I like my Smallville one better, but you know that's just personal preference.
I can never think of Smallville the same because of Allison Mack.
Yeah.
I think she's kind of tainted a little bit, but you know if you try to exclude.
If you fell down that Keith Raniere rabbit hole, that shit was foul.
Oh yeah. Well, it made it hard for me to watch Battlestar Galactica again because a lot of the people from Battlestar Galactica were there.
Bro.
And
If some bitch convinced me to get to get a brand, and then you found out that the brand was some dude's initials, like I'd have to claw her face off.
well,
Like,
it was
there's no fucking
it
way.
was his initials and hers, depending
right?
on the
that
angle.
makes it even worse. Oh, I'll punch right up the cunt. I can't.
But the best part.
That's what she deserves.
All right, we're definitely
Then she can
not
go back
getting the
to work, that's
family-friendly
fine.
version
Oh,
of this
was this
episode.
supposed to be a family friendship?
No, don't worry about it.
Tonight's
This is where
show
babies come from,
is
and it's where
rated
I go if you piss me off.
PG-13.
Yeah, no, we're about to probably hit an R rating
Oh,
today.
yeah, which is fine.
Yeah,
Which is fine. We haven't
but
done that in a
no.
while.
The thing is, Allison Mack, because we're going off on the tangent, but she's actually married to one of the actresses from Battlestar Galactica, and both of them had their dealings with Raniere because they were both involved with him in the cult.
You're such a herb too, dude. I want to find the cult leader that like makes sense for once. Like, I don't know. I just don't.
You can just follow all the women that love Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
That's pretty much a cult in and of itself.
You think that's a cult in itself?
Yeah.
That would kind of make sense. Okay.
So-
At least there's something there. These other women, I'm like, what? How do you fall into a sex cult with someone with no sex appeal?
Yeah, you got all the women that they're more.
They're cold roofies.
Yeah.
That's true. But yeah.
No, Raniere didn't. He just basically broke them mentally.
Yeah, it was so weird too. I was just like, damn, were these bitches that vapid? Like, no.
Yeah, I watched The Vow when it on what was it, Netflix
Yeah.
or no, on Max. And
This dude
yeah.
puts his hair up to play volleyball. Like, like I'm gonna respect you.
Yeah, it was volleyball. That was just yeah, no.
Team building activities.
But yeah, no. I did like the fact though, back to Masters of the Universe, that they kind of tied it in with the early 2000s series with Skeletor being Keldor.
Keldor, yeah.
Yes.
And then now having that as spoiler, him being Skeletor, but also being the brother of the king, Randor.
When they first brought out Keldor, I was like watching the early 2000 ones. I'm like, oh, cool, they're incorporating that somehow. Wasn't expecting the twist that.
Yeah.
I thought they were having it as two separate people. Wasn't expecting it to be Skeletor, and then I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, for straight 5 episodes, it was definitely worth it. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it was cool knowing that they brought back Meg Foster.
Yes,
Yeah.
as Mother Bach.
Yep, as Motherboard.
Motherboard.
Mother box. I
Yeah.
got one of those. No,
Yeah.
Not
But
yet.
then it was also cool that we got the first time ever seeing animated Gwildor. So
Yes.
it
Yes.
was
Wait, I'm sorry. How many doors are there? Like, you got
A lot of doors.
yeah, there's a lot.
A lot of doors.
Yeah, they brought back the keymaster himself.
Keymaster.
Yes.
It's like
Does Kevin Smith voice any of these characters?
No.
no.
Oh, okay.
No.
Although in
His daughter does, and Jason Muse.
I was
Yes.
gonna say I need Jason Muse in something because
Muse-
that's like my big brother. That
the
I never
Muse
had.
did
Oh.
he did a Stinkor in the first.
can't.
He did in Stinkor in the first season. Who did he do in this one?
I forget. I forget who his daughter did as well.
His daughter is very sweet.
Yeah.
She's talented too. She's cutie. She's like, you know how like nepotism's an issue in the industry? Not if it's Kevin Smith related.
Yeah, that's
I don't-
fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Kevin Smith,
cutie.
it's not nepotism since everything he does is
Is
with
built-
family and
Yeah,
friends.
right,
Like,
right. It's just,
so-
are you in his universe or not?
Yeah. It's like if you're a friend of his, it's like, yeah, it's not a big budget where you have to worry like Weinstein's trying to molest you in the hotel room.
Also, I have so much respect for him with the way that like him and Jason Mewes were able to like come back around to their initial friendship and professional relationship. Given like he really stood by somebody that had real issues.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the work has shown for it.
Yeah.
Big
As
ups for
Mike
that.
and Jimmy are both
Yeah, we're
scrolling trying to find
figure it
out. You know,
Stephen
Actually, Jason
Root
Mewes was my
as
last
Battlecat.
major club gig.
Yeah.
Was hosting for Jason Mewes headlining.
nice.
I have to like get back to that. Like that's my dragon that I'm chasing.
Jason Mewes was Badra.
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 I don't remember Badger.
Oh, that was one of the She-Ra villains because they brought in Hordak.
Right.
Which it seems like there's an illusion that at the end that we may get She-Ra, so it all depends on if they can get the licensing rights with Filmation.
Wait,
Did they
when you
have-
say She-Ra, is it She-Ra? Is it like in like a she something? Like
Yeah,
a She-Hulk? What
She
is she?
dash
It's like it's
Yeah,
the
they
female
did it.
version of He-Man.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why because I'm
He-Man,
vaguely
She-
familiar with all these characters.
Yeah, He-Man, She-Ra. You know, they were really creative when they came up
They were.
with that.
Come on, it was the early '80s.
It worked well.
It did work
its
well.
job.
No, what actually
It would be
wor-
weirder if these things were called like Benedict. Like, it's like you gotta call it something grunty.
Yeah, no, I think one of the coolest elements though was being a kid and not knowing and then finding out later that every Castle Grayskull was painted slightly different because they hand painted it. So it was a quick
Yeah.
spray paint job. So them spraying, so each one had a different shading.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the '80s show?
Yeah, when they came out with the toys, you were looking at it and you were like, oh, every one of them was different. So if you had Castle Grayskull playset and somebody
the
else
toys.
did, yeah.
I think it was on like the set of the show. I was gonna say,
No.
wasn't it a cartoon? And then I'm like, wait, did they do stop motion? Okay, it was okay.
No, but at this point, you figure there's been enough stop motion
Yeah.
for Robot Chicken with the Masters of the Universe characters.
Now, in the first series, did Battlecat talk? I don't think he did.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not talking about the '80s. I'm talking about
in the 80s.
No. The one Kevin Smith did, the Revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He talked in it.
Yep.
Yeah, Stephen Root.
I don't remember him talking.
He kept it more for Battlecat, but then this time was more where Cringer got a little more to say.
Yeah, I don't remember Battlecat or Cringer talking at all in that one.
Well, that was also because the other one was longer because it was 2 separate parts that they released.
Yeah.
So I think that one was, what was it, about 10 episodes?
Yeah.
About that.
Yeah. So, I mean, for how short that this one was actually pretty impressive.
They did a lot.
Yeah. And it was nice that they finally did kind of wrap up and go full circle with Evil Lynn's character.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, she's part of
And I think if they were to ever do another live action He-Man, they have to cast her, Lena Headey, as Evil Lynn.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just her voice acting in that character alone. Plus, she's badass to begin with.
Oh, yeah.
She is Evil Lynn. Kev, live action, make it happen with her. That's your assignment.
Let's maybe not go live action. We learned our lesson the last time.
With
That was the
Dolph.
80s. Come on, that was the 80s.
What were you complaining about?
That was the 80s.
Oh, my complaint for the original was everything on Eternia was cool, and then they got to Earth
Yeah, no.
So there's already been a live action mask.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in the
Dolph
80s.
Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, yo, all right. Was it campy enough where it was okay though?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
no?
It had its moment.
had its
You guys,
moments.
all three of you made very different noises.
Yeah. It had its moments. Dolph Lundgren as He-Man, he had the physique. Didn't really have the acting chops because he just came off Ivan Drago. I will break you.
Which is perfect for that.
Perfect for that.
well-
I mean, he had the physique for it, no problem.
Yeah.
but we kind of had maybe do a movie with a script.
No. Well, one thing that I love was I went and I saw, because our buddy Dan Siri went and told me about watching the documentary,
Yeah.
Electric
You said
Boogaloo.
Dan Siri?
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo, The Rise and Fall of Canon Films.
Yes.
Yep.
And in the documentary, they talk about how for Canon Films, they were making a movie with Stallone, and he showed up on the set for Masters of the Universe. I think it was for Over the Top. So he was making Over the Top. He goes and he shows up. He sees Lundgren, and he's like, wait, you gave that guy lines?
Yeah. Like, he could talk?
So, yeah. But then again, I mean, Stallone's not really one to talk, considering he wanted the fight sequence with Drago to look real.
And he almost got killed.
Yeah, you're letting a guy that's an actual fighter and
Punch you.
pretty much a genius too.
He is a genius.
Yo, he has
Fulbright
like
scholar.
just 3 science degrees or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, he went to MIT, so
Just for the shits and giggles.
yeah. So
he needs to be president, but he wasn't born here.
Yeah. No, he was here on a modeling gig, and he's like, I got time of the week. I'm gonna go to MIT, get a master's degree.
yeah.
And he basically did it like on weekends.
Man,
And Stallone ends up in the hospital because it's like,
He was like, punch me hard in the chest.
it's like,
Hey, Dolph,
Go
why don't
all
you
for it.
punch me a little?
so dedicated to my craft that I give myself heart failure.
yeah.
And he got punched in the chest, broke like 4 or 5 ribs, and like I think it screwed up the rhythm of his heart.
Yeah.
And he's like, why can't I breathe?
That explains why Rocky 5 was so terrible.
He's still recovering.
Yeah, exactly. But I want to talk news-wise. We did get news that Invincible is going to be getting the second half of its season.
Good.
Should be starting on March 14th.
Very good.
Now, other Amazon news, which we don't know how close it's going to be, but The Boys should be coming back for season 4.
Yes.
Some people are thinking that it's going to come out towards the end of when Invincible finishes up.
Which makes sense.
So that would be like around April, but they don't want to overshadow, because in other news, the Fallout series is going to start on April 12th. And part of that series was they filmed some of that on Staten Island.
Did they?
Oh wait, is that what they? So I live, in Duncan Hills on Down Highland Boulevard. There's the old ShopRite.
Yeah.
They got cleared out. And
Yes.
then all I was told is that it was being used for some zombie
Yes.
shit, and it had they
Yep.
made it look grungier
That was
than it would have.
Fallout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was
I like
Fallout. That was Fallout. So that was filmed over there. So, it has ties to the island. So
And that's
is
gonna be a
cool.
live action.
yeah,
series.
it's a live action Fallout series.
Interesting. And that source material is what? Just a
The video game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been any books, but I haven't looked into it enough. But yeah, and we did get news that Rick and Morty will not get its new season for season 8 until 2025,
Wow.
which I was a little iffy on anyway, because it took some time to get used to the new voices for Rick and Morty on season 7.
Is it still involving the fucking guy Roiland?
No, Justin Roiland was
Gone.
let go.
Good. Okay.
So he has nothing to do with it.
Okay. And then there was the other partner was Harmon.
Dan Harmon.
And then all right, and he's also a scuzzball in his own ways, but not in the same way as Justin Roiland.
He
Okay.
was a
Dan Harmon did the baby fucking video. It wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. I get the idea. It was supposed to be Dexter-ish. And
Yeah.
what if a guy's so demented he fucks a baby? No.
They were coming up with a lot of crazy ideas at that point.
Yeah, I was like,
so
this, God, I was even for 2009. I was like, this is okay.
yeah, but no, Dan Harmon's like at least reformed his act. He's worked with a lot of like talent that's gone on from working with him from Community and gone on to bigger and other projects, which hopefully this year we'll get the Community movie on, what is it, on Peacock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Which movie?
They're doing
Community.
Community. So
Like the show, the community college.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. I think about like a Rick and Morty community movie. I was like, no.
no, but there was a moment in Rick and Morty where they had a alien TV parody of Community.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
So it was very short, but yeah, no. So they always promise 6 seasons in a movie, so we should be finally getting the movie. Now, I do want to talk about the fact that in other news, a lot of people have been shitting on the Suicide Squad kills the Justice League.
Yeah.
Because they were led to believe that was Kevin Conroy's last performance as Batman.
No, he's
It was
actually,
his voice in it, like still.
Yeah.
He was voicing Batman, but they've actually come out and found that he's got 2 other roles
As
in Batman.
Batman.
We don't know if one of them is going to be Batman, but in Crisis on Infinite Earths,
Part 3.
I think, it's either part 2 or 3. They haven't confirmed.
both.
Yeah, but he's coming back as Batman from Batman the Animated Series.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So paying homage to that. So that's at least a nice little thank you that his last performance wasn't in Suicide Squad.
Yeah, like tie a bow on
Is
what
the
he did.
Suicide Squad, that's a video game, right? Not a movie?
Yeah, video game.
No, wait. I'm guessing you're talking because I only go what winds up on my algorithm.
Yeah.
So I've been seeing recently this week. There's been screenshots of what looks to be a Suicide Squad game.
Yeah.
Where Harley is, I guess, in leading the charge, and
Yep.
there's designs in the background or certain symbols of different
That's it.
things, and people are stopping their gameplay because this is what they're focusing on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Okay. I'm just making. Okay.
Yeah, because it's the Justice League going evil and the Suicide Squad has to take him out.
Okay.
So, yeah. And,
Be an interesting film.
and it kind of ties in with the other Batman game where Batman kills Nightwing.
What game is that?
It was one of the last ones that came out where it's Batman goes rogue.
Is Nightwing Dick Grayson?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought the last Batman game was the one before Origins. No, Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights had nothing to do with Batman was already dead at that
But
point.
yeah, because I thought that was him putting it into it. I didn't know they did one where he killed.
there's a smaller game that was kind of flew under the radar. But then again, you're gonna piss off a lot of people when you have Batman killing Dick Grayson. Kills.
Isn't generically understood that Batman doesn't kill unless totally necessary? That's part of his moral code.
Yeah, not even. He never kills.
He doesn't kill, but he has no problem letting somebody
Or
get
setting
killed.
you up to be in a
Right.
situation.
Yeah.
Basically,
Even in
the
the
only
movie,
one
he
that
lets Liam
doesn't
Neeson
kill
go off
is
the train.
Superman.
And
Yeah.
Right.
and Batman Begins.
Yeah,
He's I don't
basically,
have to save you.
the Boy Scout is Superman, as he says.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's he won't kill, but he's morally ambiguous.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you either.
Yes, that's the thing I'm talking
ladies
about.
and gentlemen, our word of the day, ambiguous.
Ambiguously gay dude. That was the first time I ever heard that word used.
SNL.
I was
Yep.
8 or 9.
TV
And I was like, Mom,
Funhouse,
what's ambiguous
TV
mean? These 2 men
Funhouse.
are really good friends.
Yeah.
I just got some news today.
Okay. What do you got?
Superman, the Christopher Reeve documentary.
Yep.
Max is picking it up.
Good.
Yes.
Yes. It
Yeah.
did very well over in Sundance.
I was going to say they did well in the festivals. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually when they do good in the festivals, every place is looking to grab them
James
for
Gunn
streaming.
wanted to make sure that got picked up.
Oh, of course. Well, Gunn, we got to just give him a chance, see how things play
Yep.
out.
Yep.
And I'm willing to give him a chance for
How
now.
is it that he's had 2 feet in 2 different universes for so long?
He's that good of a writer and a
Yeah.
director.
Okay.
So, I mean,
Because what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy was I'm not going to say revolutionary, but it was something special and unique to the superhero genre, I
Right.
think, at the time.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I feel like he's just been known as the guy that adds quirky shit to the
Yeah.
to the universe. I don't know.
but he did fix the Suicide Squad.
Yes, he did.
Which,
You mean so from going from the 2016 version to the kind with the star in Costa Rica?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, using Starro.
Even though by the end of that, I was absolutely on the star's side. Wasn't he just spinning in space and then the government kidnapped him?
Well,
Yes.
Yeah.
And just experimented on him.
yeah. Well, after you've been experimented on, but, what are you going to do at
I'm
that
on
point?
his side. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
But then again, I'm just glad that it gave us the Peacemaker series, which now
Yes.
still waiting for
The
season
greatest
2.
opening for a superhero.
That opening dance sequence was
The
great.
opening
That was
dance
the
sequence
amazing-
is amazing, but the soundtrack for every song that's something you got to give to James Gunn.
Yes.
That he
That was
kno-
his series fully, right?
yeah,
Yep.
he knows how to make the soundtrack perfect to set any mood. And it's usually something that you probably haven't heard.
Yeah.
Especially because towards
I
the
blame him for making Chris Pratt likable. 1,000%. Like, because then, like, that, no. It's fine. He's okay.
But he definitely.
If that's the worst he's done, I mean,
He's fine. He's a little, it's a little too much. When once they started voice acting him into everything, I'm like,
well,
okay.
James Gunn's one of his first jobs was actually helping to write Tromeo and Juliet for Troma Studios.
Oh God.
He wrote it in
feather
iambic.
in his cap.
You know, he actually wrote it in iambic pentameter. So the
Wow.
fact that the movie is in iambic
You're gonna have to
pentameter,
like define that for your viewers.
it's a certain way of writing that Shakespeare did. So
I'll look it up.
yeah, you can let the educator do that.
We will now take an education break for Mike to look.
Yeah. Iambic pentameter, everyone.
Yeah, but no, and then he did the Scooby Doo movie. So
See, that was years ago, but that
Yeah.
was a core memory. That shit was dope. I
Yeah.
love it. Was Matthew Lillard? The man that you are.
that he has been Shaggy pretty much the entire time since.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Since Casey Kasem's
And that's
retirement.
Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar again.
Yep.
Yep.
And then what's
Linda
her name?
Cardellini.
I was just saying. Mwah.
Oh yeah.
The definition of iambic pentameter: a line of verse with 5 metrical feet, each consisting of one short or unstressed syllable, followed by one long or stressed syllable. For example, 2 households, both alike in dignity. But I think I like the way Pauline did the little sound effects. So from now
Yeah,
on, when we have
Well,
iambic
I just
pentameter,
realized that I mean, it's only because I'm sitting next to James here that I accidentally thought iambic pentameter became limerick. So I was sitting here going.
This has been the word of the day on the Dragoons Lair podcast.
Yeah, we're trying to squeeze in some educational information here. So.
it's not working.
No, it is not. Now, Mike.
You guys wanted culture.
Boy, did you guys turn into the wrong show if you wanted culture.
well, this is Staten Island culture.
That nine, bitches.
So now, Mike went and you wanted to talk Ghostbusters trailer. So why don't you lead the charge?
Yeah.
Again, watch the Ghostbusters trailer. I watched the first one that came out.
Yep.
When they were just giving you like teasers, when you see like the Ferris wheel freezing and the
Yeah.
ice coming out of the sand, looked cool. Didn't give you too much when you saw like the big bad coming out of the firehouse, like in front of the firehouse doors with the horns. Didn't give you too much. Everybody started joking. Oh, it's Elsa and she's pissed. Like, okay, I can see that. I don't mind the Ghostbusters busting Elsa. That's
Let
fine.
it go.
Let it go already. Let it go, you frosty bitch. But anyway, now that you saw the new one,
Yep.
we know Walter Peck is back.
Bitch. Yes.
And I think it would be very cool if he was the mayor of New York.
I think, oh God.
Who
Well,
plays this character?
William something.
William Sadler?
yeah. No.
No.
Not William Sadler.
No.
William Sattler.
Different guy.
Different guy.
Different guy.
Oh, wait, so wait, real quick. So this is a Ghostbusters movie again.
Yeah.
This all right. So the 2016 was the
The female.
No, no,
reboot,
no.
and
We
then-
don't talk
No,
about
no,
it.
no,
I know,
we don't
I
talk
never
about
saw
that.
it. Don't have a
Don't.
comment on it.
It's
Leave
like,
it
we
over
don't
there.
talk about Bruno, we don't talk about that.
Leave it over there. So then, yeah,
is a
only
diff-
thing I know about that is that Chris Hemsworth was like
Yeah,
their like
he
sex
was-
doll. No, I don't know.
Pretty much.
Office Boy. Okay,
This
so
this is a direct sequel to the last one that came out, Ghostbusters
Afterlife.
Afterlife.
that's what I was gonna say. I thought there was one that just came out. How
Yeah.
is there another one?
No,
Okay.
this is a direct sequel to that.
Is Paul Rudd in it?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so then I do.
William Atherton is
Atherton.
Walter Peck.
Yep.
So now, people are saying he might reprise the Walter Peck character from the video game, where he's the head of like the PCC or the PPC or
Well, that's
something
what
like that.
that was kind of what he was in the original movie. He was the head of the EPA. But you know what? If we don't get someone calling him Dickless,
We have probably when you see Venkman again. Oh, hey, Dickless.
that's if they even get the two of them in the same room together.
I hope they do.
Although
But-
I will say one thing that was great in there was seeing Janine
In the
Ghostbusters uniform.
Melnitz
That
in a
was fun.
uniform.
Yeah.
That was a throwback to the Ghostbusters cartoon when she suited up in the dream sequence.
Yeah. Although I would love, my one thing I would love to see would be Rick Moranis coming back
As Louis Tully.
in the Ghostbusters
Although-
outfit because he got it in Ghostbusters 2.
He got it in Ghost, which is canon, by the way.
Does Bill Murray have anything to do with any of these?
Yes.
Yeah, he's in
Okay,
it.
then that's then
They,
it's,
they've got they have every living member
Every li-
came back for
Okay,
Afterlife,
okay, good.
and Marie is back in this one. So they at least did it in a way that he's not arguing
I love
over it.
that they said
Marie?
Ghostbusters
Yeah,
Afterlife.
he argued in the about
Murray.
Murray,
I
yeah.
thought he said Marie. I'm like, who the hell's Marie?
Oh my god.
Sound like you
Did they
said
call it
Murray.
Ghostbusters Afterlife because the
We
2016
are now
one killed the
accepting
franchise?
offers for Miracle Ear for Mike.
Yes, I need
Thank
one.
you.
I
Thank
need
you.
one. Anyway.
This is not sponsored for Miracle Ear, but if
I will
we
gladly
get
take
a
one.
sponsor for it, Mike needs one
I
very
do.
badly.
I am deaf in my right ear, and he's sitting on my right side, so it sounded like you said Marie.
Take a letter, Marie. By the way, we interrupt this program of Ghostbusters trailer for a special report. September 6th. Beetlejuice is coming.
Let's not say that we did.
Okay.
There's another Beetlejuice coming.
Yes,
out?
there's gonna
Is
be
Michael Keaton in it?
Yes. He's
Michael
back
Keaton, Winona
as
Ryder.
Beetlejuice. Winona Ryder's back,
Okay.
and Jenna Ortega is in it.
Ortega's in it.
Yeah.
That's her
Interesting.
daughter.
Okay. I'll allow it.
But getting back to the Ghostbusters, excited to see it. You have glimpses of some new proton packs, new toys coming out, new proton packs, maybe new different versions of it.
What year is it supposed to set in?
Present day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Present day New York. You're getting a little more into the character of the big bad. I forgot the name, but when you see him, like Ray says, he collects all the energy from all the spirits.
why-
He's going for the containment unit again.
Yep.
And you see him like plug the plugs into his head.
Yeah.
The ghost.
So-
really, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, you don't have
Slimer
a
good.
It
Slimer
returns.
is returning.
Yeah, it's not a long wait because they announced March 22nd.
But it's because
So-
we know it's March 22nd. Every day they're like, oh, is it March yet?
Listen, I say that because this is a leap year and I want to get the hell out of February.
Okay.
I've
27 more
Yeah.
days, don't worry.
It's not fast enough.
I know.
Just because this month is one of those weird weather months.
Yeah.
Where now all of a sudden it's like, hey, we're in New York, and as we get closer to Valentine's Day, be prepared for 60 degrees.
60 degrees on one day, and then we're going to have snow on the other.
And I just don't want to see any snow. But
Yeah,
that's
there's no rules to February. I don't even like to screw with it. I'm like just
yeah.
yeah.
It's like keep
Weather
your
by
head down.
Sybil.
Wait, isn't today Groundhog Day?
Yep.
Yes.
Did
Yep.
it see the shower?
Nope.
Shower?
Nope.
Shadow? Sorry.
Did he see the shadow?
Did
No.
it take a shower?
Early
Did
We
any
didn't
of us
take a
take a
shower and
shower?
didn't see the shadow.
No.
Early spring. Early spring.
Oh, it said
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Early
Because
spring.
I'm so pissed. I only realized that actually when I was on my way over here that it was Groundhog Day because I was trying to go out of my way to like go to a groundhog sighting. Like I wanted to watch it.
Yeah, it's Staten Island Zoo.
I know, and I missed it
Chill.
every
Yeah.
year. I fucking miss it. Oh, Chucky boy. I think
now-
Chuck's a girl.
Yeah. Now we got to go and talk about Jimmy's show because we've had 2 episodes since our last episode.
And actually, he is player card number D7.
D15.
D15.
Yeah.
If you have the collector's pack, he is D15.
Yeah. So now you got to tell us, Jimmy, how was the last 2 episodes, in your own opinion, seeing yourself on there? And you got a good amount of screen time.
Wait, when will this air? Did it air?
Oh, it's been airing since January 3rd.
No, I mean I learned of the show, what the show is, but I don't know anything else.
Okay, so
know that it
give
exists.
Pauline the rundown.
Yeah, and then there's something to do with relatives of famous singers. I don't know.
In a beautiful sphere.
Yes,
You hold the mic closer so this way everyone can
enjoy this.
hear you emote.
In a beautiful sphere is a celebrity, reality star, sports star, Hollywood star, celebrity.
Porn star.
A star.
Fingers crossed.
That's right. A musician. You never know who's in there. Their relative comes out with some clues. You have to figure out who is inside the sphere. They will also give you 3 extra clues each time, when 3 with the relative singing alone and 3 with the relative and their celebrity singing inside. Your object is to guess who is inside the sphere. The first round is $20,000. You share that with whoever else gets it correct. The next round gets a little harder, but it goes up to $30,000. And you want to be fast each time to get to being star player, where you could play for $100,000.
And since Jimmy is sitting here with us, it's safe to assume he didn't win shit.
Well, the NDA does not let him say that, but
I said it, that's why.
Shut up, Marv.
There'd be signs if I won. I would not be here.
So now, right now, what's your over/under average for? Because I've noticed you've got a good amount of you didn't get one, but you get the other. So
Yeah.
although you did hit both in the last episode.
Oh, heck yeah. that was a beautiful.
So now
episode.
every week as the show moves on, is it the same people as like? So you were on the guessing side. I'm assuming that
Yes,
that's what this means.
all the
Okay.
contestants, except for whoever's star player, will be in the audience. Then we will add another player as it goes. And 10 episodes, we had about 110 plus people
Wow.
and everything. Yeah.
110 guessers.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I have to say, like the last episode was really emotional, especially when
Who's an example of a celebrity that comes out of the sphere?
Peter Frampton.
I was just saying, if you've seen a couple episodes already, that means you could talk about that.
Yeah, Peter Frampton
can speak
was
about
one
that.
of that was one of the most recent ones, and having his son perform for him,
Julian.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it was really emotional. And one of the contestants, guessing, she was practically in tears.
Okay.
That's Rita. And let me
Yeah.
explain something about Rita. Rita is. She's like a roadie. She's the biggest fan. She has her own book on Amazon. I'll tell you that. Or you can order it through her.
a book about being a roadie?
Yeah, about a book meeting all these rock stars.
Yeah.
She's met everybody from Aerosmith. Well, she finally met Peter Frampton. She just showed us she put the little pic into a beautiful
Yeah,
frame with her name in
yeah.
it.
She made sure she stated that she collects guitar picks.
Aw. Okay. So this it meant a lot to her as a guest,
Yeah,
as well as okay.
Yeah. Now, Jimmy, since you weren't in the final round, were you able to guess the final celebrity in the last episode?
I had it about his first guest. About a second guest, correction.
Yeah.
I had it. But just to let everybody know, as Julian and Peter said, Peter suffers from inclusion body mitosis, otherwise known as IBM. All right? And I've been speaking with Julian, seeing how his dad's doing. His dad, coincidentally, is going back on tour.
What
Yeah.
does that disorder entail? Because it's not
It's-
IBS. What is
It basically deals with damage to your muscles.
So like a muscle dystrophy type thing, or
Yeah.
like a okay.
Basically, now he was sitting there. Usually he'd be up playing his guitar
I see.
and everything. The
How
last
old is
time
he around?
he's in his 70s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a bunch of us know that what John Hopkins is doing the research and all. So I spoke to Julian, and this lovely shirt here that I wore on the days off,
Camera's that way.
this lovely shirt will be signed to the highest bidder. Okay? You can reach me on Facebook. You can catch later Facebook or Instagram and Threads, and I will explain what's going on with the process. All proceeds are going to the research, the Peter Frampton research at Johns Hopkins. So.
And if you would like for me to be able to get in touch with Jimmy, you can send me an email at dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com. That's dragoonslairpodcast, all one word. Dragoon is spelled with 2 O's. That's dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com.
First plug of the day.
We're about a half hour in. I needed it. It didn't
I know.
feel
I
right.
start eating at your soul.
Yeah.
Can I ask the origin of the podcast name?
Well, the interesting thing about it's basically we started off where I was like, all right, I love dragons, and the Dragoon, it was more of a nod for Bruce Campbell's character in Jack of All Trades.
Is this the character called Dragoon?
Well, he's the Daring Dragoon.
Oh, okay.
So, and the Dragoons were actually in Napoleon's army. They were part of his army.
So it's a title, like a military
Yeah.
title?
Yep.
Okay. I was like, is this because you're all goons and you like to drag things? Okay.
No. So, and also it plays into one of my favorite PlayStation 1 games, Legend of the Dragoon.
Okay.
So
Fair enough.
And in there were different colors of that the stones that they had that gave them dragon powers. So they were dragon riders known as dragoons. So
And Danny also dresses in drag sometimes.
Again,
Hey.
a goon
Hey.
and drag, yes. It can
hey,
happen.
hey.
It can go both ways.
I don't tell them what you do in your private time.
Thank you.
Coming to a school.
It's not much, ladies and gentlemen.
I can tell you exactly what he's doing, but I don't think you'll want him back on the show after that. Which, Jimmy, I have to tell you right now, Doug did vote in the poll that we have on the Spotify page, and he was the only one who voted.
He's the
because,
only
you,
one that
Doug.
votes.
yeah, of which I wish more people would, but most people don't go on the Spotify and scroll down. But he does.
I didn't
not-
even know you could do that.
Yeah.
You could put
Yeah.
a poll on Spotify.
Yep.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 6-inch pole.
Yeah, it goes from top to
Yeah,
bottom.
so-
Can I hold my weight?
Doug basically said he's. It's not because of you. He's just not a fan of kind of reality shows. I didn't think he realized that it was more of a game show.
What was the poll question?
If people were watching We Are Family.
Oh, okay. I see, but,
Yeah.
but maybe that's an unexpected answer because
Yeah.
it's not everybody knows about the show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's on Fox.
Yeah.
We've
And
had the ads
it's
up
on
during
Hulu.
Masked Singer, NFL, Hell's Kitchen,
They were all over on
Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Yeah.
not even just Thanksgiving.
And then
Also New Year's
CBS.
Eve. New
Who
Year's
is
Eve.
the host?
Anthony Anderson and his
Uh-huh.
Mama Doris.
Okay.
Yep. And Jimmy just happens to be sitting right on the side of Mama Doris.
Oh, cute.
So you get a lot of Jimmy in the background, even though I call him Jimmy, but everyone else calls him James.
James, you have to be professional.
I know,
My
right?
favorite Anthony Anderson thing is how he was in Transformers. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Special
I like
shout
when the
out
kangaroo's
and
back.
speed of recovery to Mr. Anderson, who's doing a movie, and he got hurt during a fight scene.
Oh no!
Oh yeah.
Did he win the fight in the movie at least?
Oh God, I don't know yet. The movie's being filmed now.
Okay, well I thought maybe you watched the scene. I don't know the fight choreography.
No, all we see is a scene of him sitting in a medical bed.
Oh, oops. Okay, to be
Jimmy,
continued.
I have to tell you the same thing I have to tell Mike. Not away from the mic, towards the mic.
Ladies
You gotta
and
be
gent-
polite towards the mic.
Yes. Mr. Chiavo has something to say.
Yes, I was just received a phone call. Something happens at my house. I have to take an early exit.
right.
Guys, I shall check you next time. Later, peoples.
Give
Yep.
your
Okay.
All right.
Best to the lady and the puppies.
Yes.
just a reminder,
Just turn
everybody.
off the microphone.
Mike has Murder on the Orient Express, March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd at the Little Victory Theater on Victory and Wild. And it's the first two weekends in March.
And I can just hear him in the background as he's packing up his
Yeah,
stuff.
that little Victory Theater. It's the tiny, cute little theater that's not far from the West Shore Inn. If you guys are familiar with that steakhouse on the island, because I tell people
yes.
about this venue and they don't necessarily know where it is. They're like in St. George. I'm like, nope, that's a very different theater.
No, that's Freddie and Dean's.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah, so as we all watch for the video version of Mike scrambling around in the background to get out of town, because whatever happened at home must be serious for him to leave so quickly. So
He found out he has a son. No.
it's actually more he has a daughter.
He's got a dog. He's got 2 dogs.
Yes, he has the puppies he has to go take care of or something. We wish him nothing but the best.
Yeah.
Now, we do have a couple of other topics to hit, but I want to get back more on We Are Family.
Yes.
So, with everything that was going on, like the last celebrity,
How many celebrities get revealed per episode?
3.
3.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's three. It's and how many rounds is that in total? Really,
3 rounds.
3 rounds, but it's technically separated into 2 per celebrity. Really,
2 per celebrity, and then there's the bonus round 3, which is the star player.
yeah. Now you went and your bet was one of my all-time standout moments of you so cocksure that you had it right, and you did. But you're like, I bet Super Bowl tickets on it. Would you have been able to actually cover Super Bowl tickets if you lost?
Let's put it this way. No.
Wait.
I've seen
wait.
I've seen the prices, and I'm like,
But since you got it right,
1,500.
Yeah.
since you got it right, what did you grant yourself in return? Like, why were you risking that? What was your gain for this bet?
because I knew it was a sure bet.
So you were just like, I'll buy anybody's Super Bowl tickets, and like there
No,
wasn't anything
no,
on the
no,
table
no.
for you?
Yeah, like I
Okay.
said, he was 100%
I was betting
cocksure.
Yes.
See, I gotta wait till the.
I know you. I know you. I know.
Okay.
I know. But it
Soon
it,
enough, soon
it,
enough, soon enough, soon enough.
it helps us
Oh,
build
no.
up the anticipation.
Yeah.
Not until after you get paid.
Yeah, you have to wait for the
Yeah.
the checks have to clear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, clearing the checks is going to be the biggest issue, more than likely.
The bigger the production is that you get cast on, like the longer it takes to get paid. Like 90 days after, like, where the fuck is my generic check?
Where's
Yeah.
my money?
Yeah, I gotta give you credit because I mean you're not getting like the fastest times, but it being able to be on the spot and actually getting the answers right, I'm pretty sure there's got to be some brain freeze that kicks in.
Oh yeah. Oh, you get a lot of people get the brain farts.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that, and it's some of the stuff is small technicalities. I've gotten that.
yeah. I
And
mean,
everything.
What's his face? The guy that hosts Wheel of Fortune was just saying that, how it's like, how you know when you'll see those embarrassing videos where like a college student, and it'll be like the final question and the puzzle is solved minus one letter and they still mess it up.
Yep.
And then like their opposing college is like, I can guess it. And then they get it fully right. Like he's come in and said like, in that moment, it's not the same as you watching it from home at all. And like,
Yeah.
you never know till you're in the hot seat like this guy.
yeah,
It's like what I've been watching on Buzzer TV. They've had the concentrations, and everybody starts clearing out this board, and then it's like, "Can you solve the puzzle?" No. And then the next guy goes, "Can you solve it?" Yeah, sure. It's itsy bitsy teeny weeny.
Yeah.
yeah, because they have that extra time to like focus.
They got your benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't get it in that guess, but
Yeah, it's like, okay,
take
I got
back
to see you screw up, so I'll be able to get it. And I think that was something that was referenced by the last star player.
Yeah.
Like she said, like, because it's a lot harder than it does looking from sitting on your couch.
Oh yeah.
And you said, you've confirmed before in past episodes that it's where I can see the silhouette at home. You had a harder time,
We didn't
like
have no
seeing.
silhouette.
You couldn't see who was like any silhouette
No.
for the celebrity behind the spear.
We had to wait.
Yep.
Oh, that was just the way it was presented to like the audience at home. But
Yeah.
but in studio you didn't see it.
Oh, there's a lot of things you'll hear.
Yeah.
I say, and the words is, how do you say on the zoo later, but not now.
Yeah. Remember, the mic is in front of you.
You.
I have to constantly
I should have
correct.
taken his boom mic.
You should. Switch it. Just turn it on. No, turn it on. There's a switch.
Yeah.
You didn't
Check.
unplug it?
Da-da-da-da-da.
Thank God.
Let me make sure. Go ahead. Keep talking so I can just see.
Check,
make sure.
baby, check, baby. 1, 2, 3, baby.
All right.
Hello.
There it is.
The reach around.
Thank God. That don't sound good.
No kidding. That did not sound good, but I had to anyway. No, so, I mean, we've basically gone and, like, we've been watching the show. Should we be expecting, because there's, how many more episodes are left?
There are technically 4 more episodes left.
All right.
So,
I hope this does get another season because this has been really entertaining. And Anthony Anderson and his mom are fucking gold.
oh, hysterical.
Yeah, his Mama Doris, some of the things she says crack me up. And you can see Jimmy laughing, like, because he's right over her shoulder.
Was this all filmed in LA?
No. This was filmed in Atlanta.
Jimmy, if you're going to take the
Okay.
mic, you're going to have to hold it close.
This was filmed in Atlanta.
There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah, I forget that Atlanta is also like a huge production hub now.
Yeah.
Atlanta's
Thanks,
film-
Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
No. Although
Yeah, basically.
he does have his.
Also-
he started
also
his
The
billion-dollar
Walking Dead.
production company.
Walking Dead.
Yeah, there's been a lot of shows.
Disney.
Yep.
A lot of people are filming there, but I'll tell you this, and you'll make you laugh. The Next Level Chef that Gordon Ramsay has out, he filmed it in Ireland.
Who did? Gordon Ramsay?
Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, beautiful.
Fox had that filmed, and they filmed Beat Shazam there. And The Floor.
All right. So
Okay, so Ireland's getting a little
Okay, so-
production boost.
yeah.
as well.
now, okay. Most embarrassing Mike story, just because I know he's not listening. I just fucking around. I know he doesn't listen to the episodes over, so this is just to fuck with him. Because it's like, now we got to make sure we tell him we said some really embarrassing stories about him.
Yes.
You know, I remember the time he wet his pants in class. More it was a guy almost killed him, but yeah, no. I would have assumed he wet his pants. Now, I want to talk like about the Marvels because it came out during the strike and we
Yeah.
really weren't able to talk about it.
Was it even released in theaters? Or
Yes.
was it?
Yeah.
Okay. I
It
thought
ma-
it was just a home release.
No,
Oh my God! It was just.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dan.
No, I actually really enjoyed the way that they did the Marvels because they found a nice way of taking the characters that they used in the series and the Captain Marvel movie, everything that was established, to create an actual group that they felt like they actually worked together.
Yeah.
Now, is this a group that these characters existed? I know they existed in the comics, but like they work together in the comics as the Marvels. Like that was already a collective in the comic books?
No.
Okay.
But Miss Marvel has always been a Captain Marvel fangirl.
And she's supposed to be she's like the young Muslim girl that
Yes.
became
Yes.
Ms. Marvel. Okay.
Yeah. Which like I said, I was hard on the show when it first came out for Ms. Marvel, but I'm not the target demographic.
I was gonna say that
audience.
whole show
No.
is they're all younger, so it's supposed to be like for teenagers to
Yeah.
watch it. Like
Yeah, but
that's what they want to
they
pull
want to
that
they're
in
pulling the next ones.
yeah,
for
but
the MCU.
But that also, I'm not the target demographic because I'm not the same religious background. I am not a teenage girl.
You're not the one seeing
wanted to-
identification representation in this
Exactly.
character. So
Yeah.
But after a couple episodes, it actually grew on me. So
Okay.
I started to see the charm and everything.
And then the third character is Maria Rambeau.
Monica Rambeau.
Monica Rambeau.
Yeah.
She has powers too.
Yes.
Because I think
Yeah.
she was in Captain Marvel, but I don't know about her background.
She was in Captain Marvel as a child, when they got to Infinity,
90s,
Infinity War. She went and she got caught in the blip, as
Okay.
they called it for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
which is I guess stuck. And
Makes sense.
So when she came back, she was in WandaVision
As an adult.
as an
Yeah,
adult.
Okay. And she has powers.
She got powers when
During
she
the
was
blip?
during WandaVision. She crossed through the barrier that Wanda created to make her little TV family universe.
Okay.
Where, she did it in New Jersey?
Yeah.
Of course. Because you can get away with just about anything in New Jersey.
Well, basically, it stays in I'll say like
Tri-state area?
the Stanley Lee universe.
Yeah. Yep. So, but I did like the fact that they did have because Ms. Marvel had the Bollywood moment. They did have the entire song number in the Marvels.
Wait, they made her Indian?
No. Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
They go to another planet where only the people talk in song.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's in the Marvels?
Yes.
In the
Okay.
Marvels.
Yeah.
And it's on Disney Plus at the moment.
Well,
Okay.
it's by the time this comes
But,
out, it'll be so it did hit for Disney Plus, and so because otherwise it was available on Prime for rental.
I know. Wait, just last question, shallow on the characters. Is Monica the same age, look, phenotype as Captain Marvel? They're both just 30-year-old women?
Yeah, they're both. Yeah, they're both
Okay.
adults.
So I was trying to figure if there's any, and then the other one's still a kid, teenager.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you still have the teenager. It was fun, seeing the interactions because they have Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury interacting with Ms. Marvel's parents,
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
And-
Anything he does, I'll enjoy.
and because of the alien cat. What was the cat's name again? Do you remember, Jimmy?
What was it, Comet or something like
No,
that? No.
Cosmo. I think
Cosmo?
Cosmo's
No.
the dog.
Okay.
The cat that they have is an alien that it has tentacles that'll come out and it just eats anything.
All right, now I'll see this movie.
Yeah,
It's the
there.
same cat that in Captain Marvel took Nick's eye out.
Yeah, was the reason why he lost his eye.
Oh, the end of the movie?
Yeah.
The things
Yeah.
walking around? Okay.
And then it spits out the Tesseract.
Yeah, yeah. So they used that entire thing to save an entire space station.
Okay.
Because you gotta
Not only one.
Yeah. No, it has kittens.
The space station has kittens?
No, the cat. The
cat.
alien
Okay.
cat has kittens that come out of eggs.
Yo!
No, the best irony.
Oh, this cat's coming
Yeah, but the best irony was memories.
Oh, yeah.
I fell off my seat. I fell out of my seat laughing so hard.
Yeah.
What?
There's a moment in the movie where they're going and trying to figure out their connection through a memory device, and they're
The three women to each other?
Yes. So they
Okay.
can actually see each other's memories, and some of them are the ones you don't want to see.
Yeah.
So Jimmy, which one was it that got you? Go ahead, say it. Come on.
Oh, which one? Oh, you mean when the
Yeah, which
cats?
one? Yeah.
Anytime anybody had their period. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, basically, one of my favorite moments is when they have to transport the whole station, but they have to have the cats
Yep.
help transport it because all the pods are gone.
Yeah, everyone is running away, and you have all these alien cats, like just everywhere, and they are swallowing everyone.
Oh, hype.
And at one point, it's like, just let it happen. And they're like,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Why would you not?
Sorry.
If it sees you fit to devour you, like, so be it.
Hey, listen, this is why I'm a cat person, you know.
You have to respect and honor the old gods.
Exactly. So, and that's the thing. Like, I didn't think like the Marvels deserved like the hate that it got.
It was set up to fail because like once like I'm not listening. The only thing I know of it is nerd rage on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know it was a thing in whatever, and I was just like, okay. At this point, it's like, please seek out other content because it's just rage boners. Like it's annoying.
It's the male fans that just can't accept the fact that there are female characters and they have good stories.
I was gonna say there's some things that are definitely like forced representation. It seems like sometimes, or like you don't need to gender bend everything. You don't need a white, Spanish, Chinese everything. But these are new characters that were always what they were. So to harp on that means okay, then you just don't want that person to have a character. Like just be honest with yourself.
I mean, sometimes you can swap the gender or the nationality of a character, and it works better. I mean, Battlestar Galactica was a prime example because you had the original Starbuck was a guy. And now you took Dirk Benedict and you go to Katie Sackhoff in the new one, and Katie Sackhoff killed it. She did such an amazing job that it was like, who the fuck cares if it was ever a guy? So
it wasn't because didn't people like go nuts over like Doctor Who like being a woman once out of 15 times or some shit?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
like, it's like, isn't this supposed to be an
black.
alien that changes form and this? So it's like, all right.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It was the Jodie Whittaker years for Doctor Who, which I watched, and she didn't do a bad job. There were weird stories and some controversial like changes to like with the concept of the timeless child and the Doctor not even being a Gallifreyan, being a found child that had the regenerative powers that the Gallifreyans took. So it was one of those moments where you're kind of like, are you kidding me right now? Like you're kind of changing the history, but it's Doctor Who, so you can kind of have whatever headcanon what you want. But they even had like Jodie Whittaker found a previous version of the Doctor that was a black female.
Yeah.
So you have a black woman there with a female doctor. So you have two female doctors at the same time. I think it just kind of blew most people's minds.
Well, I think it's because like as much as that's fine as it is, like for what it is, but like you are gonna have like if someone was like over one thing, like now you're gonna have these ones swing from this side of the pendulum that are just like no matter what.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
like that was definitely set up perfectly for those types.
Yeah. But it was also funny because like, you know, everybody loved David Tennant. David Tennant is just absolutely brilliant.
Amazing.
He's like the most popular one,
Him
right? Like
and Matt Smith.
Yeah, there's a toss up between
that
him
one I
and
know.
Matt Smith.
Yeah, okay.
So-
I think the Tenet one's a little above for me.
Yeah. So Tennant and Smith were a lot of people's favorites.
For the modern,
for the modern Who. And when it came to the new Doctor Who, my best friend said one of my favorite things after when Matt Smith was done and he regenerated into Peter Capaldi. So I get a text message right after it's like the Doctor looks like a kid toucher. And
it was who? Peter Capaldi?
Yeah, Peter Capaldi.
I gotta Google who that is again to refresh my memory.
He was also in Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but it like I had to actually like my best friend then went to sleep right after like sending me the text message. So she woke up to a text message from me telling her it's like, yes, but remember Matt Smith's Doctor was willing to take a 10-year-old child into the TARDIS. So it was like, yeah, fair point.
To setting him up for this. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, all right. This guy definitely doesn't look like he doesn't fuck kids. But like he,
No, we're not endorsing and we're not accusing
I'm
anyone,
just
but
saying.
at the same time, it's the look, it was the image, and going from such younger doctors to then jumping to grandpa was like, oh.
Another big shift.
Yeah. So Capaldi became a little controversial and lost a few of the people that I know that were watching it.
Yeah.
They kind of gave up after Matt Smith. I stuck with it, and now we got because Tennant came back, and now it's Shooty Gatwin.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, Shooty Gatwin for the
Shooty?
Shooty.
Like Shooty?
Yeah.
Is it a dude? Or-
It's a dude.
Okay.
Dude,
It's a dude, but I don't know if they're going with more of a gender fluid kind of doctor at this point.
Shooty Babbitt, is that the name?
Shooty Gatwin.
Gatwin, okay.
Yeah. And I have to say, like, the Christmas episode was amazing. And the song The Goblin King actually was topping charts on Spotify. So it was actually really cool.
I know they had 4 parts on Disney Plus.
Yeah, the 4 David Tennant leading into Shooty
Gatwin.
Yeah. And you even had, what was it?
Oh, I didn't get that right at all.
Yeah.
The name is spelled Ncuti.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like
Yeah, English. You know, these European
It's
names.
English.
Yeah, these European names. You know, it couldn't just be Dave.
Did you say European name?
Yeah,
Is that not an African name?
it's European.
European too.
Wait, let me see. I
You
still
also
can't
gotta
find a picture of this
remember,
person.
A lot of Africans
No, there's a lot of
migrated.
immigration. No, of course.
Yeah, so
to London.
that's why I'm like,
Yeah, and a Shooty Gatwin. He was born in Rwanda.
yeah. So I don't listen. I don't care where he comes from, as long as he's having fun and he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
that's all that
He
matters.
looks, he's okay. He's like my age.
And if you
Is that
look at
young?
it-
Is that young for a doctor? Is the doctor supposed to be older?
Well, he's
30 something.
yeah, but he's playing a character that's over 1,000 years old. So
And if you look at the past up to
Jimmy.
Capaldi.
Yep.
No, excuse me, up to Joni, Eccleston,
Jodie.
Smith,
Jodie Whittaker.
Jodie Whittaker.
Yep.
If you look at it, Eccleston, Tennant, Smith, and Capaldi have each been in something either Marvel or DC.
Yep. Now, what was Eccleston in again? I'm trying to remember.
Or Dark World.
Oh, yes. He was in Thor Dark World.
As what?
Malekith.
Oh damn.
Yeah, he was one of the villains, and in all honesty,
No, but that movie sucked. So.
yeah. Well, I'm not a fan of the first 2 Thor movies. I think they got it right when they got to Thor
Love and
Thunder.
No, sorry. The one with Jeff Goldblum where he first showed up.
Ragnarok.
Yes.
Ragnarok.
Yeah. So Thor Ragnarok was when they got it right. Because I always compare Thor, the first Thor movie, to the 80s Masters of the Universe movie. Because it was like all the stuff in Eternia was cool, all the stuff in Asgard was cool. Then you go and you get all the stuff on Earth, and you're like, really?
The only thing I like
They had to go to
I enjoy
Houston.
when he breaks the mugs.
Yeah.
When he's like, another! He just wants more coffee.
Yeah.
Like, that's funny. to me.
Yeah, it had funny moments.
I just didn't like the
Yeah.
the whole plot.
Yeah. I mean, my main reason for watching it was it had 2 of my favorite actresses in there because
Kat Dennings is
Yeah.
your girl.
Oh yeah, I love Kat Dennings. Like, she is like comedy gold at half the time. Like, even when she's not trying to be funny,
Yeah.
she finds a way to make something funny. And Natalie Portman. It's like between the 2 of them, they were the reason for me to see it, because I know most of the women were like, "Oh, Hemsworth." They see it. It's like, okay. I'm like, I don't care about him.
No, yeah. My eyes were where yours were.
Yeah, so but that's the thing. It's like Marvel, and you figure also, what was it? Yeah, Tennant was in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So
Who was the doctor during? I've only literally seen one full Doctor Who scene, and it's one that I saved because I always I cried when I see it. It's so cute. It's when he transports Van Gogh.
oh yes,
To the current
That
the
was-
Paris
yeah.
gallery, and
Matt's-
he sees that
yeah.
his art actually had an impact.
yeah,
and
that
starts
was
crying.
in the Matt Smith era.
It's
So
it's from 2011 or something.
yeah, that was Matt Smith. He went and he was traveling around and came across Van Gogh, and he didn't feel like he was appreciated. So
Yeah.
it's like he brings him to the future before he takes him back.
Yeah, I mean, Van
Yeah.
Gogh was a suicidal mess.
Oh, yeah.
He always was.
Yeah, so it was great to see something like that, and it
Cute.
paid such respect to not just Doctor Who in general, but also to like Van Gogh as an artist.
No, I just thought it was like a super like emotional moment, and I was like, oh, okay, look, they made this like sci-fi movie like have meaning. Like this is
Yeah. Oh no, I like before I started watching Doctor Who, I actually went. It was a David Tennant 2-part episode with the Beast in the Pit. And I thought it was a movie when I was watching it because I was just flipping through the channels, and then I was like, all right, now I have to actually go back, start from the 2005 reboot, and just keep going. So I had to do that, and I enjoyed it. But yeah, no, but I like that's the thing. It's like certain things get a lot of hate online, and I'm pretty sure like Shooty Gatwin's gonna get like he's gotten a lot of love from the Doctor Who fans. Jodie Whittaker took a lot of shit, and I think it was uncalled for.
Well, here's what I also don't like either in general when it comes to these criticizing characters and fandoms. When it's like you'll see somebody, write a think piece or cause a stink about a character that wasn't even a part of that fan base to begin with.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're not watching Doctor Who now and then, like don't come crying about like Doctor Who being a woman now, or like if you're not watching whatever already, like it's one thing for like that inner fan base, like a Star Wars fan base, to get on and have like an honest discussion about their own shit. But like if these people are just dropping in to it, that it's like you didn't know that your expertise is not there. I don't want to hear your input.
I agree, except for Star Wars fans. Star Wars fans are literally some of the most toxic fans out there.
The general fan base, you feel like is all like that? How do you feel they compare to Star Trek fans?
Star Trek fans are actually more inclusive, and they accept everything. If
That's what I was gonna say.
If they don't like it, they're okay with like, okay, you know what? There's another version of the show for
they got so
me.
much Star Trek.
Yeah. Star Wars, I have to agree with, like, I saw Freddie Prinze Jr. say in an interview, he's like, I learned this shit from Filoni. I learned it from Lucas. It was made for kids. So you saw the original trilogy. You were in that age group. That was your movies.
You mean like the kids in the 70s?
Yeah. Then you get the prequel trilogy. That was made for a different group of kids. And now the new
that was our group, like our generation almost.
I was more the original. Like I grew up
you were born in the 70s?
I was born in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
But I grew up with the original trilogy.
Okay.
Before they did all the general touch-ups and changing things with digital effects. And but the sequel series has basically been bombarded with so much hate, and it's like, it's not for you.
Because you're viewing it with the eyes and knowledge of the original fans that came to it.
Not even just that. It's not what you wanted, because there's been so much. And instead of just accepting, okay, you know what, Disney got rid of the canon from books and some of the video games. Guess what? They're still out there. You can still enjoy them.
Still read it.
Yeah. It's like, it's there for you. You can enjoy the part you like. You don't have to constantly shit on everything.
I feel like there's never anything big that comes out in like the fantasy realm anymore that like people don't take issue with. Like I never, I mean, obviously I was a child back then, so I wasn't having these conversations or hearing them, but like it just doesn't seem to happen anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
oh no, Jimmy and I remember when the prequel trilogies were coming out and people didn't want spoilers, and some people just absolutely loved The Phantom Menace when it came out, but they were just so happy to get a new Star Wars movie. I watched it and I sat there and I'm like, I've listened to everybody's hype, and I waited. I didn't go see it when it first came out. And I saw it months later, and I'm just sitting there like, this is not as good as I would have liked. There were moments that were amazing. I was like, okay, when we get to Duel of the Fates and further down, like towards the ending, like that was all great. I was like, I don't care about the pod racing. I felt weird about having like a child hitting on the queen. It was like, this is just kind of creepy.
who was the child?
Anakin was the child, but it was
Jake Lloyd.
Yeah, Jake Lloyd. He was a kid actor. You hired a kid to play a child that it's like he's supposed to be. But
he's supposed to be. Is his character in the lore like also child, or is it like in a child form?
No, it's Darth Vader before he becomes Darth Vader. So he's Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, is this who Christian Hader played?
Yeah,
Hayden
Christensen.
Hayden Christensen.
Which when they cast Hayden Christensen in the movies after, I literally was sitting there and I had just seen the Canadian show Higher Ground. And that was about like a bunch of kids that like they had drug problems and like other issues. So they were sent to go in like a kind of school that was up in the mountains.
Okay.
And so it's Hayden Christensen was playing a character that he was like the football star that was doing drugs and everything. And he's getting sent up there. Eventually you find out that it was his stepmom was like molesting him. She was hot. So I'm like, it's the same way like you kind of see nowadays as an adult. You see these teachers that they have that like they get busted for having sex with their students, and it's like, where were these teachers when I was a student?
Oh God, no, that's the argument that always gets tossed every time these articles are out there. It's still terrible. Those women are still sick in the head because there's no way. You're a hot woman. Yeah. You can go get a man. You don't need a boy.
Yeah. It's horrible, but at the same time, it's like every guy.
But I'm saying the teenage you and you just thinking I would have done okay, and that's that. Listen, I can't speak to a teenage male perspective, but I can just say that like from a 30-year-old woman with friends that are teachers, like that's a bum bitch. If you had to like,
it's like right now. Basically, the point is, do you want to pay rent or do you want to live rent free?
Exactly.
That's what it is with these teachers.
Yeah. So
basically,
but
living rent free, aka like going to jail.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Teacher salary so bad, I'm a fucking football player. Like, go away for 3 years.
Well, yeah, what was it? I was watching like a little like TikTok video where this woman who she's a teacher was talking, and she's like, we asked the students what they want to be when they grow up, and one of them said I want to be a panhandler when I grow up because I want to make more than a teacher. And she's like,
roasted.
Yeah. She's like, I looked it up, and yes, he would make more money.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like, but that's the thing. It's like you see certain things that they change over time. So, when you have like those moments where it's like, it felt creepy knowing, but like Hayden Christensen's character in Higher Ground is like, okay, he was molested by his stepmom, but he was worried his dad wasn't going to believe him if he told. So he turned to drugs. He's up in the mountains in the school and stuff. And it was actually a really cool show. It is on Amazon Prime you got to pay to see it, but Higher Ground was actually really cool. It has Jewel State, that's in Family Law, another Canadian show that they're airing on the CW now.
Oh yes,
yeah,
that's a new show.
Yeah, well, it's in its third season.
It's a new show. I mean, like it's not like a reloading of '90s show.
No, it's like a family law practice where it. So, but all of these actors that were in Higher Ground actually went on to do like other things. So
I love that when you go back to like Freaks and Geeks or whatever, and you're like, oh, this whole cast is successful now. That's pretty dope.
Yeah. I can't say all of them are fully successful, but I know at least one of them went on to be a Power Ranger.
Oh, rest in peace, Green White Ranger. Sorry, sorry, love Tommy.
Yeah. So, but it's one of those things where when after seeing that, his acting was like at that point was kind of so over the top, and it's like him crying. I was like, oh,
his acting in what was over the top?
In Higher Ground.
Oh, okay.
It was like so over dramatic, and the crying and whining. I was just like, oh, like this is gonna be the guy that turns into Darth Vader.
But then you saw he could be cold as fuck, though.
Yeah, but at the same time, it was like, okay, all that heartbreak, it worked, but it was just like, it was hard when you first hear the casting.
Yeah.
So
that's what people thought about Heath Ledger and the Joker. They're like, oh, this a Knight's Tale motherfucker is going to really do this. And then you're like, oh, wait, he's got some darkness in him.
Oh, yeah. But no, it was, I still wish he would have stuck around and didn't pass away, because it would have been cool to see him come back and be in the third Batman movie for Nolan, especially because you would have got him and Joseph Gordon-Levitt back in a movie together after 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh,
and he was originally slated.
He was.
He wasn't supposed to be Cillian Murphy in that role.
Yeah.
It was
as the judge, the Scarecrow judge. It was actually supposed to be the Joker.
Was going to run the court?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I kind of liked it. I mean, it worked. I liked it as Cillian Murphy because his coldness, like his cool demeanor, like enhances that for me. But
it also gives you like the thought now, knowing what could have been, where now you're playing the.
Well, I just think it's so fucked that he died before the movie was even released, so he never knew how successful it was, and he won an Oscar post-mortem.
Yeah, but I hate to say it, but because comic book movies typically don't get the respect when it comes to the awards, which is one of the reasons why I gave up on watching these award shows anyway. So he may not have actually gotten it for that movie. It just happened to be that, you know, the impact and his passing, it seemed more like it was one of those things where it was like, let's give it to him.
Give it to him now because he would have gotten one eventually in his career, and now he can't.
Yeah. It's the same way, like, I stopped watching the award shows because I feel like it's more like, hey, it's the Academy and them is more like their friends giving them.
It seems like they figure out who's up for deserving it at this point in time, and then it's a lot. Just because, like, Leonardo DiCaprio, for instance, I don't know whose fucking wife he banged in the 90s, but there's like 6 projects he should have won an Oscar for. The Revenant was not the one.
Well, that's what happens when, you know, girls hit 25 and he's like, yep.
Well,
peace.
that's because they are contracted PR girlfriends. He's not with these women. Through grapevines, he does not take pleasure when he's with a woman. Instead, he wears headphones during sex and sits there like a limp fish. Because, and this is my alleged theory, he's been gay this whole time. And it was decided in the 90s that he couldn't pursue a leading man track with that image. So they had to just like boom, 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 get you all these different girlfriends, keep it rotating, keep the money coming in, mind your gay business.
I believe it because he really sold sucking dick in the Basketball Diaries.
He was he's a beautiful little twink. He was a beautiful twink, and then he's spent the rest of his life like chasing that high. And I'm convinced that his partner is probably Tobey Maguire. You didn't hear it from me, but it's probably that. Because why is Tobey not married either?
That's the Spider-Man curse.
Anyway,
when you get to the third movie and it's bad.
That's it. I think they live a beautiful life together on their vacations, and all the women then get out of the contracts at 25. They can go on to have children and everything. And they get out in time in their fertile years.
I kind of like that theory. You know, it makes it seem so sweet and wholesome.
It's a symbiotic relationship. That's why, like, you notice any of his girlfriends, they never talk shit after the breakup. They just literally they walk away from their contract and they're like,
Not even Joanna Kearns.
no. You said Joanna Kearns?
Yes.
The fuck is that?
That's
Growing Pains.
Growing Pains.
Oh,
She was too old for him at that point. She was already past 25.
you're digging down into like his old.
Hey, listen, once I said the Basketball Diaries, it was all fair game at that point.
Yep.
Now,
He
speaking,
was great in Romeo and Juliet, though. That was a fucking dope movie. John Leguizamo.
Oh yes.
John Leguizamo does not get the credit for
Agreed. Anything.
the acting that he has done. I mean, granted, one of his first movie roles, The Pest, was not a good movie, but
It's a cult classic.
no, it's not a cult classic.
In other places, in some places, they
To its
enjoy.
little cult following.
He does have a cult following with the best stuff.
It's
but it will sit on the video shelf.
Oh no, it's not even sitting on the video shelf. I don't even know if
It is the video shelf.
Pretty much.
It might be holding up the
No,
video
I've never
shelf.
seen the movie. It's fine.
No, it's him basically just doing like a bunch of like impressions and crazy shit. It's pure 90s like ridiculousness.
What I love about him, he can be dropped in either a comedy or a drama, action or whatever, and he can maintain the same kind of character because he mixes the comedy and the drama, like when he's in John Wick.
Yeah.
Like,
and his one-man shows are absolutely incredible.
I've never seen one of those live.
Even if you see it where you're seeing it like as a special on like Netflix or something.
Even when HBO had it originally.
They are so worth watching because his way of telling stories of his life and everything, he really just, for a one-man show, he brings everything to life. Now, I want to touch on the last topic that we have for this episode. You know, Mike's not here, so thankfully I can say what I want to say. It was Ace Ventura, and I wasn't even sure if Mike watched it. Because
isn't that the original? That's the original.
The original Ace Ventura.
We didn't hit Percy.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that one next time. I wanted to give it like a little time to marinate on all the 8 episodes of the season.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll get a second season, but you and I will really discuss it because, you know, Mike's not big into streaming, like he said on the last episode.
No, we got a few things the two of us can discuss. In
absolutely, but
WWE.
Yeah. Oh, we're definitely going to hit that because there's been news, and we'll get to that as more stuff develops.
Oh, you mean Castro Jr.?
Yeah.
Bye. Get out.
Yeah. But no, the original Ace Ventura, I remember seeing it back in 94, and I loved it the first time I saw it, but watching it after you now have seen it and you know the twist, it's like some of the jokes still work, but I didn't think it held up. And rewatching it now, I honestly don't think it holds up.
Well, this is the same movie where like one of the whole gross out scenes is the fact that someone's discovered to be transsexual.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so I'm not into that. Other than that,
Well,
though,
it was Sean Young, so Sean Young went crazy in the past before, so selling crazy killer, I could believe that, but it really was, it's like they found Mr. Winky and everybody going and like sitting there like scraping their tongues and like spitting.
That's what
and
I'm saying. I was just like, all right.
With the
like,
plunger.
yeah, I was like, all right, relax. Like,
And Boy George singing, crying.
Yeah, but that wasn't even like most of the jokes early on weren't like, they didn't hit like they did back then. I mean,
as they shouldn't have. You were like a preteen boy then.
Yeah.
So that's like peak like humor. Like
I
that's
still
like
have that exact same sense of humor.
yes, but like that's when you and everyone around you has it. So like the general opinion about that joke is gonna feel a type of way.
Yeah, but but even like the opening sequence of him as like the delivery guy throwing the box around and stuff and like shattering the package, just so he could go steal the dog.
Okay.
All right, that part I relate to.
I figured you'd be able to relate to that one.
Listen.
But it's one of those things where it was like, okay, kicking the box and stuff. I thought it was like, wow, like this is fucked up. I'm like, okay, I'm not even finding this funny anymore. Mm-hmm. But then again, I'm expecting an Amazon driver to probably try to do that. But then again, they won't get their tip if you thank your driver with your Alexa device.
I mean, this is also the same movie that has inspired every single Halloween. The worst guy will dress like the fucking ballet skirt thing, going like this stupid costume. Like that's the legacy of that movie. Is fucking 23-year-old guy with a roofie dressed in a fucking tutu.
Pretty much. It just didn't. I remember him like looking at Jim Carrey and knowing like, okay, this was the start of like his physical comedy was on point and ahead of its time. But when you got to like the jokes, they were one note. They really didn't hold up. It just happened to be one of those things where it's like, it was that moment in time. Like
I was going to say, but also think this is a movie where like I don't expect anything from it, and that's a benefit. I feel like it just goes to show it was supposed to just be a silly box of confetti. At the time, and whatever.
It was a Rip Taylor bit at that point. But I could almost see like when I brought it up.
A Rip Taylor.
Yeah,
Rip Taylor.
He just threw confetti everywhere.
All right.
He old comedian.
Okay.
He used to be on the Gong Show.
Okay. Gimmick shit.
Yeah, he was a gimmick comic that
he was in Jackass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me match
the Bloodhound Gang kind of used him for a song. Like
not the Mammals one.
No,
right?
no. It was one of the other ones. I think it was on the same album though.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I can see Mike being the person that would still enjoy the original Ace Ventura. I think I'd probably.
This guy is an insane person. Yes, I know who this is. Sorry, this mustache is like criminal.
The car was hysterical.
Yeah. So the car was funny because it's like he's keeping his head out the window instead of just replacing the windshield. Him driving with it like a dog with its head out the window.
Respect to that.
Sorry, pet detective.
No wait. Okay, so the Ace Ventura movie.
Yeah.
That was 1994.
Yes.
And you were saying something about that being the start of Jim Carrey's physical act out comedy.
Yeah.
Then do you by what movie do you feel like that was perfected or whatever, like The Mask?
The Mask was where it was like 100% on point.
Because that's the one that I could think of where like I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah,
like that's
that one is like pure classic, even though it should have probably been more violent since it was based off of a comic book character that was extremely brutal and violent. It's one of those moments where it's like that was the movie where his physical comedy was there. I think Cable Guy was where his dark comedy, where it got a little dark and you could see like he's got some potential for like some serious acting. And I will say the Truman Show was
Truman
where,
Show.
yeah,
Okay, that was my next one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Man on the Moon showed his serious side.
it showed a little too much of him engulfing himself into the role.
That was the first movie where I was like, oh, method acting is a thing.
Yeah.
And I was a
And-
kid learning that. I was like, oh, he's like getting in his like serious headspace.
Yeah,
Okay.
the fact that he was still doing the bits and even trying to copy the Andy Kaufman, Jerry Lawler stuff was just like, okay, I felt like he took it too far at that point.
Where it like broke the fourth wall and made you realize how it wasn't it. Like
Yeah, like it was a little too much.
I got that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but otherwise, I mean, all the movies he's done, like outside of that, I've enjoyed all of his performances.
How have you felt about Eternal Sunshine?
That was
That's no physical comedy. Like
Yeah.
that was him showing he's real deal. Just
Yeah.
like, he
Yeah.
can just play.
Yeah, that was that moment where it was like, okay, you know what? It's not over the line serious like he was in Man on the Moon. That was like the key point where it's like he can do pretty much anything.
You were able to see him as a detached, different, serious person, instead of seeing, oh, that's Jim Carrey seriously trying to be Andy Kaufman.
Yep. And that's the thing. Like, you know, I look back at Ace Ventura, you could see like, yeah, he had a lot of great stuff on In Living Color, but this was like, it felt like almost like a bad In Living Color sketch made into a hour and a half movie.
Okay. Which there could have been many things like that. They could have done a bunch of projects like that. I still think one of the best in living color videos is Jim Carrey impersonating I don't know if he's Canadian, the Canadian white rapper Informer.
Oh yeah, Snow.
Like that soul
Snow.
slip. Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
Whatever the
the
shit.
Canadian.
I like it boom boom down.
Yes, that fucking video.
Yeah,
and the parody was just as good.
Yeah, which is I think he's related to the guy Snow is related to another like singer for a band from the 90s, and it was so different.
That's a totally different genre.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think I'm trying to remember, like I can't remember the band that the guy's in, but it's like Informer was terrible. You really couldn't understand. I'm like, if you're gonna,
I thought it was a joke to begin with, and as a child, and then I saw Jim Carrey doing it, and I was like, oh, this is Jim Carrey's song. That makes sense. Jim Carrey's the nonsense man.
Yeah.
So of course he did this, and then I saw the music video again on like VH1.
Yeah.
And my mother would exercise in the morning and shit.
when they still showed music videos.
Yeah. So this is and then I'd see the video again, and I'm like, that's not Jim Carrey, and I was like, the fuck is this imposter?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like if I'm gonna listen to somebody rapping, I need them to be clear. That's why I'm like, I could listen to Eminem because even if he's going at a high speed, everything is crystal clear.
Whereas like this guy put an accent onto himself and made his words unintelligible.
Yeah.
And you're white.
I think he was the first white mumble rapper.
There you go. Right. Yeah. Revolutionary, actually. Now we got to watch that be the new thing. Like white people invented mumble rap, all right? Shut it all down.
You know, the way he rapped, you compare that to John Machida, the fastest talker in the world.
Yeah, the
And
Micro
I
Machine
could-
Man.
Yes. I could understand him more than I can understand Snow.
Yeah, because the Micro Machine Man really was like your auctioneer.
Yeah, he did He originally did Federal
$1,
Express, too.
$1.
Yeah,
And he was in Transformers the movie.
yeah, because he was.
What was his part in Transformers?
It was
Gellar?
the animated Transformers movie
Yeah.
from the 80s, where they actually killed Optimus Prime and actually set a lot of people upset.
R.I.P. to the king.
Yeah. That was a lot of nonsense. So it's yeah, it was one of those things where it was like, oh my God. It was also the first animated movie where you hear like the cartoon characters cursing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh shit, what are we gonna do?
That's very funny.
Yeah, I was like, oh damn.
They're not even human and they're cursing.
Yeah. When you get, as a kid, you get the cartoon characters cursing, you were like, oh wow, they can do that?
Yeah.
But then again,
Scooby-Doo said I could say the ant. No.
yeah. But that's the thing, it's like Jimmy and I will remember, because you're younger than both of us, but you I don't know if you remember Watership Down.
I was born in 1990.
Yeah.
So-
but Watership Down was like what was that? Late 70s,
Yeah.
early 80s.
Didn't see reruns. It was probably cycled.
It was an animated movie with rabbits, and it very dark, very disturbing.
Was it like it almost looked like Disney animation, but not a Disney company? It was like a third party.
No, it didn't even look like Disney. It was a separate animation style. If you look it up,
What's it called? Warship Down.
Watership.
Watership Down.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's on. It always makes the list of the like movies from like the 80s that 80s and 70s and 80s kids are traumatized by.
and there's plenty of those.
Oh, and this is definitely one of them. So it's one of
The category, the genre, it says comes out in 1978. Children.
yeah, because there was no PG-13, so that was something that should have been.
Spielberg had the first PG-13 film.
Yep.
If we all remember.
Oh yeah. And I mean, we could definitely go on to like a lot of movie trivia, especially between you and me, but we're not going to do that today.
No.
But no, so I mean, that's the thing. Like talking about like Ace Ventura, like for the movies and like shows that made us, you know, I remember it shaped a lot of like my like comedy like interest back then. But it just was. It doesn't.
Wait, what
do it
did
now.
you feel about Ace Ventura: Pet Detective versus When Nature Calls the year later?
I actually still think like Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls is a better movie and actually holds up better.
Because I have heard less hate for this movie, for that second movie. Like
Yeah.
people have complained about things aging poorly and yada 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 about the first one. Have not heard it as much nearly about the sequel.
Yeah, no, the
Okay.
the sequel was, I think, it almost seemed like it was planned out a little better. Because I think after the first movie, they had flushed out the character, so they kind of knew more of where they were going.
Yeah, I just remember like having to, my mother being so pissed off because seeing the pictures or the posters and me being like, "When nature calls," and then my dad means, "Yeah, that's when you have to piss," and then like my mom would be like, "Why would you tell her that?" Like,
That's great.
so like, there's just
No,
the conflict.
I mean, let's face it. There's something about Ace Ventura 2: When Nature Calls with Jim Carrey like trying to squeeze himself out of the fake rhino's ass.
Yes.
And people seeing it and looking like the rhino's giving birth.
Yes.
Like that still is like comedy gold. Like no matter how many times you see
because it plays with the audience's like uncomfortableness. Like
Yeah.
it's a you or them kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like
and it works, and you can still laugh at it,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to like, you know, it's like he found Mr. Winky. It's like that doesn't work anymore.
yeah. Like I said, like very very funny if you're a 9-year-old boy through the roof.
Yeah. Even then, I was 14 at the time, and I enjoyed it, but it was like, I tried to watch the movie a second time. Because, you know, back then, renting the movies, you had to bring them back in a certain amount of time.
And like renew it, like extend your.
Not even to renew it, just you try to get the weekend out of it. Because, you know, you rent it for 3 days. It's like, how many times am I going to watch this within that time? Make that money.
Make it worth it.
Yeah. And I was like, I watched it the second time, and I'm like, I don't like this as much as I liked it the first time.
Oh wow! And yet, Rotten Tomatoes score is more than double for Pet Detective. That one sits at 48%, whereas the other one is down at 21%.
Yeah, and I take Rotten Tomatoes ratings as a suggestion.
Yeah, there's some movie that just came out, Out of Darkness. It's in the theaters now, and like it hasn't even like gotten like an audience score yet, but
Yeah.
the regular score is like up there. And then my friend just saw it and he goes, "It is dog shit, bro."
Yeah. It's one of the things where, because like and this is where I say like the toxic Star Wars fans, they went in and they had to change the Rotten Tomatoes rating system to make it so the audience had to wait longer.
For the review, the critic review to come out.
Yeah, the critics got to review it first. Audience reviews, because they were bombing.
Bombing shit, yeah.
They spammed it so much to give it such a low score. And they've done it to so many movies, not even giving it a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing.
That's good that they have to distinguish it then. So it's like, as much as you maybe don't always agree with the pretentious critics,
Yeah.
at least it gives you a starting point to know if it's to separate it from like a review bomb situation.
Yeah. Where I like to think like when I give a review, I'm giving it from my perspective and I try not to go too in depth because I could sit there and probably talk about like the meaning behind certain things, but I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It takes the fun out of the movie going experience. And
So it's like, who's paying you to do that? Like, you know,
First off, I remember like, and Jimmy, you could probably like realize this, like going to film classes in college and there's like showing you the process and it's taking you out of the enjoyment. When you first start watching because you're learning about it, you can't enjoy things the same way. And that like, it burned when I'm like, why am I not enjoying this?
which one? What were you watching?
It was actually like, I can't even remember because it was like early, what was it? Like, I think we had the first film classes in like 98. Yeah. It was like in like 1998, 1999. Like it was like things that were coming out that even TV shows, because now I'm looking at it in the analytical eye and you lose that like childlike wonder.
That the more you became like specialized regarding film and media, that it's like ruined your ability to enjoy it?
Yeah.
Because you're looking at it as a lens of critique.
I felt like I lost the childlike wonder of being able to look at something and actually enjoy it for what it is.
I get that.
So I had to like take a step back, not take the film classes too seriously so that this way I could still enjoy stuff. I mean, one of my favorite things was taking a film class where the professor's like, oh, there's a Spike Lee movie. It's only playing in Manhattan. So it's not on the syllabus, but I think you guys would really enjoy it. Make a day in the city of it. I'm like, I don't have that kind of money to go and travel into the city to see a movie, let alone to go and make a day of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, this was a no impact on your grade.
Exactly. So I'm like, this isn't on the syllabus. Are you going to, and I said it in front of the entire class and he got upset with me for doing it, but I didn't care because I'm like, are you reimbursing me for this? Mm. It's not on the syllabus. And
as long as it wasn't going to be tested on or graded, then that's just him making a suggestion for those interested in the field. Yeah,
but it was one of those moments where it was just like...
Well, you realized, like, you don't need to give it all to this. And what can you really... Okay.
It also didn't help that it was the same class where we're sitting there and we have a Serbian student that he's literally sitting there and they just asked us, like, what do you see as the ideal society where you're expecting, like... people to go and say like Star Trek and stuff. He actually doesn't even say something from a movie. He says we get rid of all Italians.
Yo, wait, this was in a classroom like located in Staten Island?
At the College of Staten Island.
I'm sorry, make that man mayor. That's fucking hilarious. That's hilarious. Oh, he might be the only one that could get away with saying it because like Serbian mafia dudes, you don't fuck with that.
Oh no, he was about to get his head kicked in because he was lucky that one of the guys that usually sat behind him wasn't there because you would have had a short Italian guy kicking his head right in.
No, this is just unbelievably the best thing I've ever heard because you're in a film class. Why?
Yep.
What? No.
Yeah,
that's like the meme going around that just says like Italians aren't real.
Yeah,
the only people you can be racist against because they're not real.
Yeah,
yeah, that's so funny. Staten Island. Okay.
Well, I mean,
good luck, Serbia. That's what. This is why you guys have so many fucking genocides over there.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. It's like he came here trashing American movies, and he's like, the best filmmaker is Jean-Luc Godard, and I'm like, no one's fucking watching his shit. I get it. You want us to experience like these artistic films, but I want to make a movie that is going to make money.
I'd be like, dude, let's talk about the most famous film from Serbia is a Serbian film.
Yeah.
And
that's why I was like,
don't watch that.
Yeah, no.
Nobody.
Oh no, that kid at my graduation ceremony, he wasn't even graduating with us. And they showed like his student film project and they're like, watch out Hollywood. And I'm like, for what? He's going to get deported.
But wait, what did he present?
It was like this stop motion like thing where it was like moving a chair around.
Oh, he doesn't disappoint. I love this guy.
Oh gosh, I remember that. It was bad.
Yeah, and I'll say it. I can't remember his last name, but that kid Jordy was terrible.
Jordy.
Yeah.
Oh god.
His cousin, she was so nice, and she didn't have like an attitude. But him,
This was CSI?
yeah,
Okay.
he was like so stuck up and acted like he knew everything about film to the point where you were literally sitting there like, oh, you're a fucking idiot.
I'm like, if you know everything about film, you would be not sitting in this class. You'd be like paid working in Hollywood. Shut the fuck up.
You'd be in NYU.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, some shit.
I'm like,
teach-
you're sucking up to professors that aren't even showing you projects that they made themselves. It's just things that they think you would find artistic and interesting.
right. Like these are they're not the great creator themselves. They just know.
Yeah.
They just know their source material.
Yeah, you may know the material, but you didn't create anything yourself, and you're going to tell people how to create things. Jason Simon was literally my advisor, and the worst. People walked out of one of the films he was showing.
This is your advisor?
Yeah,
He's schlock.
yeah.
Sorry, that's
He
so
said
good.
he said Christopher Reeve's Superman was schlock, but he was showing
Is this man tenured?
unfortunately.
Yeah.
He should be dismembered.
Yeah, he went.
You can't talk on Christopher Reeve like that.
Oh
no,
yeah, no,
girl.
no. People went and like they walked out because he was showing like this weird video of a guy like spreading mayonnaise over these naked dolls and like chanting
All right,
things.
jail immediately.
Ex-
Like, fucking,
That's
no.
what we all thought. Although,
If that man is not on a watch list, that's whatever his name is not his real identity. This man is playing in your face.
yeah. Now,
Fucking-
Jimmy and we got to witness probably, I think, from our college film days was one of my favorite things, the girl complaining. If you remember that complaint that you had to take. Trying to see if you remember it before I have to like really start dropping hints.
Go right ahead.
She was watching a movie and she didn't like the language because they said that Italians are part black because
they are, though.
Sicily was
Sicily is
invaded
there.
and
Like-
it was in the movie, and she wanted to lodge a complaint against the professor
Yeah.
for showing this.
I would be like, lodge a complaint into your fucking brain, girl. You don't know your ancestry.
The thing is, Jimmy was on student government and he had to listen to this complaint. I'm there in a
That is a HR nightmare.
It was a nightmare.
it was
I've dealt with a lot of nightmares.
And-
Oh,
there.
yeah, of course.
I was laughing so hard, but I had to I'm like, don't laugh out loud. Don't laugh out loud. She's really not saying this. Please tell me she's not saying this. And I can't look at Jimmy because I know he's gonna laugh if he sees my face. Because we're listening to her being dead serious and emotionally hurt.
But also, how can you just be that geographically dumb? Sicily is right. It's Africa. It's right there. You are closer to Africa than other whiter European nations. If they,
Why do you think Italy gave it the boot?
Yeah, it's like
if there's Black Irish, I have Black Irish heritage.
Yeah.
Which means it made all of its way the circle trade routes, Portugal and
Yeah.
Morocco and Tunisia, and they're all up here. And that's how Colin Farrell and my father happened. Like, that's it.
Yeah, so it's really one of those things where it was like so ignorant on actual history that she wanted to cancel.
That's so ignorant that it's hilarious, though.
But she
Like,
wanted to cancel the professor before there was a thing of cancel culture. She wanted him fired, and it was like, are you kidding me? He showed a movie where the character in the movie is, yes, okay, he's using the N-word, but he's saying it and putting the historical context that Sicilians are part black.
Yeah.
And if you tell a Sicilian that to this day, they still get upset. And it's like, seriously? You know what? I think you would like part of that stereotype because you starts just saying you're it's like, yeah, I'm Sicilian, but I'm black below the waist. Like, just come on, lean into it for fuck's sake.
I dated a guy who was Sicilian, and he used to joke around saying that he was black from the waist up.
Wow. So-
He wasn't. He was fine. You're doing great. But
from the waist up.
That was the joke. But the joke is he's all right.
Yeah.
He's doing wonderful. But yeah, I mean, also it's just like, I mean, just look, like I went to St. Joseph by the Sea High School. South Shore of Staten Island is like completely Italian, and the girls in my graduating class, asses out to here pre-BBL, that's not just Italia, baby. Like that's like, you go out into the sun. Why do you get so dark and I get brain cancer on my arms?
Yeah, it's like I'm burning and you're tanning. Like no, you've got more melanin than I do.
Like she shouldn't be able to lodge that complaint until she comes back at the end of August and shows me the difference between her tan line.
Yeah.
Like, fuck out of here.
Yeah, it really was one of those great moments. Pauline, I definitely want to have you back on the show.
Yes.
It's been great having you here.
I like knowing a little bit of everything and a lot of nothing.
Yeah. And it's still more feminine energy than Mike. And I think you've probably seen more than Mike. Mike's probably, like, after he gets everything sorted, he'll have MASH on in the background, or All in the Family.
Mike is wonderful. He is literally from a different time period.
Yes, he has refused to leave the 70s, even though he was born at the very end of the 70s.
No, but like he deserves to be in like that sitcom like Al Bundy era of life. Like I don't know, that was the 80s though. No, right?
Yeah,
No, but yeah.
I'm kind of trapped in the 80s, but I have like a little bit of like I've evolved a little bit, not by much. Mm-hmm. You know, I keep a little 90s standard, but it's like no. But it's one of those things. So, Jimmy, remind everyone where they can find you and where they can watch We Are Family.
You can find me every Wednesday, 9 o'clock on Fox. We Are Family. You can find me on Facebook, James Haynes IV. You can find me on Instagram and Threads, James H_925. You can find me on Snapchat, James H925. All right. You can also telegraph smoke signals, those old sea flags, you name it.
Carrier pigeon.
Yeah,
That's my
no,
favorite.
that's Mike. No. Mike still gets the carrier pigeon. That's why I didn't touch that.
I have carrier turkeys.
Yes, you got carrier turkeys.
They bring me the list of blood names now.
Yeah. Now, Jimmy, where and when can they watch We Are Family? Remind them again.
Watch it again. 9 o'clock on Fox. Also on Hulu, or check your cable provider for on-demand Fox. Thank you. I'm not used to not having Mike here to interrupt and say Pornhub, like for your Only
contact.
fan.
Oh my God, they're
Everything.
coming for porn, by the way. Guys, I don't know. They're making local laws going against porn. I mean, they're getting rid of AI porn, thank God. But,
Listen,
there's other bills.
AI porn and revenge porn are terrible. It's like, you know, I want the real thing. And if you're going to support pornography,
There's living people doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah, like that willingly want you to watch their clam. So like go there.
I go to Exotica on a regular basis. I support my adult entertainers, and if you'd like to support them, find your favorite one on OnlyFans, Loyal Fans, and all other like sites that you can pay for to get it and actually make sure they get the money.
There's so many.
Yeah.
There's like Fansly, Clubhouse, Linktree. I don't even know. They're
Linktree,
doing
wow.
What? Isn't that a thing?
Linktree.
Isn't Linktree like where people get links to all their naked shit, including their social media?
Well, that's just to get the links.
Yeah. But trust me, every girl I know that gets naked has Linktree in her profile.
Yeah, link in bio. So, Pauline, any projects coming up? Any way that people can find you and find out if you've got a show coming up or not?
A turkey find?
I know.
Follow your exploits on turkey watching.
Yeah. Okay. So no, this is for anybody that's not aware. I have about 30 turkeys that come onto my property like once a day, and it's the best thing that is going on in my life right now. But you could feel free to connect with me online anywhere. My username is usually @whiskey burrito, just the word whiskey with the E. We're not Canadian. Burrito, one thing. Except for TikTok, I'm Yellow Brick Broad instead of the Yellow Brick Road because my middle name is Dorothy. And that's only because somebody poached my name and made a whiskey burrito TikTok. Whoever you are, like you'll start to cough in 7 days. Other than that, yeah, just follow me there. February 9th, if you are a local Staten Island person, at Mexican Cantina, there is a comedy show. I don't even know if it's free or not, but a guy named Darren Joseph is running that. That is going to be Friday, February 9th, Mexican Cantina on Victory Boulevard, live comedy. Other than that, you can follow me because I have my own podcast coming out next month, and there's a lot of other shit going on. So Thanks, guys.
And remember, guys, you can follow us at all of our social medias, but for the most part, if you want to find the Dragoon's Lair podcast, we have our Facebook page and our Instagram page. We also have a TikTok channel, but it's more my page than anything else, because otherwise you can find Mike with Hamster Pellet Productions. But for me, it's Blue Dragoon 13 on pretty much all my socials, pretty much because I don't really use X/Twitter, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, I'm kicked off that for a week, so if I don't follow you back, don't get upset.
Don't worry, I was kicked off because for around Thanksgiving for hoping somebody chokes on their buckshot from killing their turkey. Oh. So yeah. I didn't want them to die, and I didn't say threaten, but Elon Musk will come after me for something like a simple joke, as opposed to the Nazis he's literally letting all over there. So if you want, you can find me more on Threads.
I've yet to get onto that yet, because it's just I'm just so annoyed. There's so many.
If you have Instagram,
it's the same.
It links.
Yeah.
It links right through, and you will actually have all of the same people that are following you on Instagram. If they're on Threads,
okay,
they will automatically be added.
Interesting.
So, Threads, you can find me on Discord. If you can get to the link, it's on my Twitch page. I have the link there. So if you go to Blue Dragoon 13 on Twitch, you'll be able to get the link. I've left it open for the invite for the Discord page. You can find me Instagram. Snapchat is only where I'm promoting the show, so you're not really going to find a bunch of snaps of me. If you'd like to start seeing more, feel free to cash at me. Blue Dragoon 13.
Also, you're confirmed a Swiftie now, just because you have 13 in your username.
Oh, God.
I don't know if you know that.
Well, you know what? It could be worse.
Yeah.
You know what?
You want them on your side.
Yeah.
That way
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? I'd rather them on my side than against me. But then again, I honestly don't listen to Taylor Swift's music. If it's on, I probably don't even realize she's singing.
Right.
But I'll listen
You
to
have
Sabrina.
to honor her power.
Yeah.
Though. Like, you don't got to like the music, listen to it. You're just like, oh, damn, that bitch succeeding. Like,
Oh yeah, let's face it. It's going to be a 13-hour flight from her Tokyo show to get to the Super Bowl. So
13-hour flight.
Yep,
You said that on purpose?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
But no, I was watching a video where they were on
Trying to get her to the Super Bowl?
on TikTok. They were.
No,
it's
but
like
she's gonna make the Super Bowl.
It's a 13-hour flight to get there.
See, this is the chosen one. That's it. We're just going to crown her the female Moloch.
Listen,
at the Super Bowl.
At this point, she can do whatever she wants. You know what? She's not out there hurting anybody. Yeah. And if you're going to worship anybody, you know what? There's worse people you can worship, and I'm not going to get into that, but I have a name right on the top of my head. The Orange Menace. You can definitely that's a bad idolatry right there.
He's being set up to be the Antichrist. Look it up.
It already is. He already is. Actually, that's his son-in-law.
I thought the Dockside kids said that Ronald Reagan was the Antichrist.
Boondocks. Yeah. Ronald Wilson Reagan, 666.
Well, someone needed to take up the mantle. So.
No, that was Satan. This is Satan's spawn. Because he's picking up where Satan left off. Now, and if you fuck with my taxes, I will come after you.
Taxes? Ugh. Theft.
I know.
Libertarian. So.
I have an aunt that lives in Texas.
Does her power work? The state that can't even get their electrical grid working.
It wants to secede. Good luck with that. Like, you're in a fucking iron grid, literally.
Yeah, if you can't even get your electrical grid to work, you want to secede? Go. Feel free. Go.
Ted Cruz is too busy deciding if he wants to be human or plasma.
No. He's ready. He's trying to figure out how quickly he can scoot off to Cancun if it gets too cold.
Like you know in X-Men when one of like the senators gets turned into a mutant and he turns into that goo. Like that's Ted Cruz to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I miss the days when we didn't know who our politicians were. It used to be like they weren't celebrities.
That's what's annoying. Like, yeah.
It's like I didn't know what my senator looked like. I knew who the president was and what they looked like, and that was about it. Mm-hmm. But it was like unless you're reading the newspaper or they did something that they ended up on the nightly news, I didn't know who you were.
I only knew who Giuliani was after 9/11. Like, I was
Yeah.
a kid. I was like, oh, we have one of those.
I
Okay.
still crack up that gopher from the Love Boat was in Congress.
Listen, I was
That I didn't see.
if I'm gonna vote for a politician, I want Ventura.
Ooh, the body.
I need Jesse the Body Ventura to run for president with Schwarzenegger as his VP.
Can VP be not born in this country?
Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
interesting.
VP can.
But then, what if president gets taken out, order of succession? Then now somebody that's a foreigner could technically become the president.
Demolition Man. Demolition
What?
Man. Yes, I want Demolition Man to be true.
I want Manchurian Candidate to be true. Like that's that's what I want to do with my life. If
Yeah.
anybody knows out there, you
Yeah.
can sign me up.
Yeah, no.
I want to be activated at some point, and you could shoot me in either direction. I don't care. One of the two parties got to be taken out. We need to get this moving.
No, but seriously though, when you look at the movie Demolition Man, in there it holds up really well because what's TikTok? It's a bunch of kids sitting in their parents' basement singing jingles.
Okay.
They're pretty much I'm an Oscar Mayer wiener. That's pretty much where we're at right now.
That's at least how it started.
Yes,
It was all-
and Schwarzenegger in that had the presidential library. So we only need him to just get into the White House. And if he's VP, he's a step away.
yeah. Okay.
And I'm okay with that.
yeah.
Let's have the Running Man ticket. Both of them.
Running Man.
Yeah.
All right. I'm all about that.
Yeah, Ventura
I'm also
Schwarzenegger.
all about Kennedy. Not because I like anything he said.
You just want a
But
Kennedy.
just, I want a Kennedy back in office, and then we assassinate this one, and then we fix the timeline. That's what we need to, the wrong one got shot in the 60s, but now his son is here, or whatever.
Oh no!
Love us.
Yeah, this is the crazy
No,
Kennedy.
JFK fell through the plane.
Yeah.
JFK fell through the plane?
John had the plane accident.
Oh, yeah.
crash.
No, I know that. I know RFK is like a cousin or a nephew. He's not the...
Yeah,
He's RFK's son.
Yeah, he's the one that was eating lead paint chips as a child. And
No, that was Ted.
no, that was too much alcohol.
The family is absolutely cursed.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think
I-
if we Kennedy 2.0, I think we could fix this shit.
You know what? At this point,
She wouldn't be a bad idea to do.
you know,
President Kennedy.
you know,
gotta make sense.
we don't get political here, but making a few jokes about it is because let's face it, it's an election year, folks. It's a leap year, and I feel like this is really Groundhog's Day
Bro,
because
I work the board of elections, so that people come in to vote and they ask me who's on the ballot, like in the moment.
No.
Yes, and then I can't say shit because I can get in trouble.
I could top this. One of my coworkers works in Brooklyn, and the guy comes in and goes, I don't know who the fuck to vote for.
wow, this has been the longest.
At least that's honest, but
Yeah.
they knew who was on the ballot. I understand that sentiment. But these people
That
come to
was
me, they're like,
funny.
what are we voting for today? And I'm like, forget it. You know what? You don't need to be here.
This has literally been the longest ending of the show, and this is going to be our longest episode. So, Pauline, I definitely want to have you back. It's been great having you here.
Also, there's signed T-shirts being given away, right? Bye.
That's an auction.
Auction. So remember,
Auction.
you can email me at dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com. Dragoon is spelled with 2 O's. It's all one word. Dragoonslairpodcast.
And it will be signed.
And I will be able to get in touch with Jimmy if you do not reach out to him directly. So please make sure you get in touch with us. Doug, we miss you. And once Mike is doing his production, I want to have you back on the show, buddy. And we miss you.
Doug.
Yep. Trust me. Yep. We already know it, Jimmy. So
I don't know Doug.
with that being said, I'm going to take us out in our traditional fashion of you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Now get out.
Get out.
Later.